topic and the fact that Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I hope I got those two right,
Yes,
have
you did.
been data mined.
Yes, so
So a lot of important information has come out. The fact that the only the first 493 Pokemon will be available in uh, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which means that they are trying really hard to make this a one-for-one remake of Diamond and Pearl.
yes, also there are no regional variants. So no Alolan, Galarian, and obviously no Hisuian forms
Yeah.
there, and no Sylvia.
Ah,
So we're really sticking to the original 493. And so let me give you some explanation as to how it's been data mined so soon. I mean, we're 9 days out.
Yeah.
So what happened is frequently stores will get shipments of, video games because people pre-order them.
right.
Well, employees work at those stores, and some employees are fans of the games, so
Some of
they robbed the store and stole the games from their places of work, or bribed people who work there to get the games for them. So they have incomplete copies, which are almost the full game minus a couple patches that are going to come in to complete the game, and they dump the ROM on the internet. It is now available for all ye pirates out there. If you use an emulator, which
Yeah.
I will not tell you how you may find it, and if you find somehow a ROM of the game, which I will not tell you where to find it, nor should I tell you that you should do it. You should not do it. But if you ever come across it, everything is available. Everything is available. Everything about the game is available. It has been completely data mined, and there are a bunch of people playing it, streaming it before getting nuked by Nintendo ninjas from orbit.
Yeah. So one thing we should definitely talk about is the fact that it's on the Unity system rather than its own independent system, as how most of the recent Pokemon games have been developed on.
Yes, so this was made in the Unity engine, which is new because most Pokemon games are made with their own engines. Like Sword and Shield had its own engine. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was made in a Franken engine of like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and prototype Sword and Shield engine. That was what Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were made. The 3DS games were made in their own like X and Y and Oras shared an engine, but Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon shared a different engine type things. Or like the DS games between like the Gen 4 games and the Gen 5 games share different engines. And even across the Gen 4 games, like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and like Diamond Pearl Platinum have different variations within their engines. So the fact that this is made in Unity, which is used by indie game developers and made by some clickbaity gimmick mobile developers, is a real departure because, for one, that makes it very much easier for people to do ROM hacking. I mean, people have already done ROM hacking. They've already started ROM hacking the game and adding different additions to the game, which is already insane as it is. And so it will also be easier for people to understand the development of this game. Yeah.
One thing I do want to bring up, from this point forward, do you think we'll have any more, because they probably have solidified all of the models for the first 500 Pokemon. Do you think we'll ever see a situation like Sword and Shield in a future game where we'll be missing Pokemon? Because obviously this is an exception because they're trying to create a one-for-one remake of the game.
Mhm.
Do you think that we're going to encounter another situation like with Sword and Shield?
For me personally, I feel Generation 8 really got screwed over by the fact that the models that they created back in Gen 6 and 7 broke. They really got screwed over that those models broke in development, which led to all these Pokemon being cut from the game and then being re-given to you through patches that coincided with DLC. And obviously Pokemon Home and Pokemon Go. And so I think potentially we could see it again for remakes, like a Black and White or Black and White 2 remake, to keep the spirit of those games, or a Let's Go game to keep the spirit of them. But I think for a main series game, we probably won't see it.
You think we'll get black and white remakes?
It's all but assured.
When do you think the remakes will stop?
Never.
You don't think so?
Why would they? They intend for Pokemon to go until the heat death of the universe.
Yeah, because my only concern with that is, of course, like, the main reason the remakes were made in the first place was to, like with Fire Red and Leaf Green, update it to a modern engine.
No,
Which, at this,
it wasn't that. It was to just make it easier to get all the Pokemon because they couldn't do connectivity between Gold, Silver, Crystal, and Ruby and Sapphire. Because they failed in that, they had Fire Red, Leaf Green, Colosseum, and XD, so you can fill out the Pokedex.
okay.
That's actually why they were made. It was so it was easier to fill the Pokedex. And then they were like, this makes money too, and it lets us improve upon things.
Okay, so with that in mind, I guess, yeah, it would make sense for them to include older generations from this point forward.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see a fourth remake of Red, Blue, and Yellow?
50th anniversary. Give it another 25 years.
Because mind you, we're on the second remake and the third version of Red, Blue, and Yellow with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, give it another 25 years.
But is there anything else, going back to what our main topic is there anything within Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl else that was interesting through the data mines?
Yes, so they revealed something called the Romanus Park, which actually also got shown in a new trailer that the Pokemon Company uploaded to their YouTube, which the Romanus Park replaces the PAL Park, obviously because there's no dual slot system, and we have Pokemon Home for transferring Pokemon. So Romanus Park is now an area where you can catch legendaries. In Brilliant Diamond, you can catch Entei, Raikou, Suicune, Ho-Oh, and most likely, if they follow normal standards, Groudon and Latios in one version, and then you'll also be able to catch the Regis, Rayquaza, and Mewtwo, while in Shining Pearl, you get Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Lugia, presumably Kyogre, Latias, and then also Rayquaza, Mewtwo, and the Regis. And so there's that. Also in Romanus Park, there is, according to the Datamined, the Distortion Room, which is an area like the Distortion World where you find the Greasius Orb to allow Giratina to change into his origin form, because Giratina, like in the original Diamond Pearl, will only be found in Turnback Cave, not in the Distortion World.
Yeah.
And so there's that. The way you find the legendaries is their slates. There are different slates that you need to find, and when you place the slates in Romanus Park, the legendaries appear. Those slates are found in the underground. And what's really cool, the slates are in the shape of the cartridges of the respective games for each Pokemon.
No way.
So Rayquaza has a GBA Emerald Green slate that's in the form of a GBA Game Boy Advance cartridge, emerald color with Rayquaza patterns. The Mewtwo cartridge is in the style of the red and blue cartridge, but gray and purple like Mewtwo. The legendary, I believe Ho-Oh has the cartridge similar to Gold, Silver, and Crystal, but it's rainbow, which I find to be amazing. That is very unique and honestly really cool.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest, with Dynamax Adventures, I really did not like how you caught legendaries. It also didn't let you have a lot of freedom with catching competitively viable legendaries either.
Yeah, well, yeah, it did.
Not really, because you couldn't really use Synchronize to.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
you couldn't use Synchronize, and it was very up in the air if you got good IVs before you settled on. Okay, I want to keep it this time.
Yeah, that is fair, but at the same time, they did guarantee you that you got at least 3 or 4 perfect IVs, and they were already close to level 100.
3 or 4 IVs has been the standard since Oras, I think.
Yeah, which the quality of life mechanics that they did to make IV training better from Sun and Moon and transferred it over to Sword and Shield, especially with the different ways to gain experience, I feel it's a bit forgivable because bottle caps are easy to come by.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just do raids. Experience candies are easy to come by. Just do raids. And the guy that will max out everything is like in the battle tower. And to do EV training is also super easy because you just need to buy vitamins, which you can buy in the Isle of Armor.
They are a bit expensive though, but then again,
You can buy in bulk. That's why it's expensive, though.
yeah. But at the same time, like money generation is fairly easy in Sword and Shield.
Exactly. I mean,
But
all you need to do is use a G-Max Meowth and just run through every super boss that you can find.
But the idea that I can use Synchronize again to get the nature that I want for my legendaries is a relief.
Yes, that will be good.
As long as there's an Abra or a Valtz that I can catch, I will be fine.
And luckily for you, all 493 Pokemon that are non-legendaries, but including starters, are catchable as soon as Eterna City once you obtain the Explorer's Kit. I have already seen people catch previous starters, pseudo-legendaries, and Pokemon that did not exist within the original Platinum decks. It seems to be that the only Pokemon that have not been found yet are Tangela, Tangrowth, and it's a flying type. It's not Farfetch'd. It's not Chatot.
I need a subtype.
I am forgetting. It's another Tropius! Yes, it's surprisingly just Tropius, Tangela, and Tangrowth is the one people haven't found. But, yeah, so there's that. But the real juicy bits of this data mine that a lot of people have been complaining about is there post-game content, and is this game going to be baby easy? So, to answer the first one, yes, the Underground is going to serve for a lot of post-game content.
Because the decks will still be big, even with restricted to the first 493.
Yes.
Which the fact that I remember that number is because I only remember that, like, and then for next Pokedex gens, I can't remember the number.
Oh yeah, I can't remember past 493.
Yeah,
I can only remember the original 151, the 251, and
is it like 383 or something like that?
Something like that. But 493, that's the one I remember because that's where Arceus was.
Yeah.
But so for post-game content, we know we're getting the Underground. You still have the contests, maxing out all your contest stats. There is the Battle Tower, which looks to be completely revamped in the sense that there are now sub-bosses within the Battle Tower, being gym leaders and rivals. I don't know if the stat trainers, Cheryl, Riley, Buck, Mira, and Marley, I don't know if they're in the Battle Tower as battleable opponents, but I know they're in there for multi-battles. You can team up with all of the following characters, plus you can also fight Mars and Jupiter. No word on Saturn yet. So you can fight all of them. Palmer is the Tower Tycoon. He's the big boss. But there are a bunch of sub-bosses, which are all gym leader rematches. There are multi-battles that you can do, which are finally back. And in the multi-battles, you face tag team bosses, such as Byron and Rourke, or Candace and Maylene, and most importantly, in my opinion, Barry and Palmer.
That's actually a pretty good inclusion.
Yes. For the longest time, we rarely saw any interaction between Barry and Palmer in the original Gen 4 games.
Yeah, because the only instance of that was in the Pokemon anime, which, dear God, was that a long time ago.
Yeah. So the fact that not only apparently in Palmer's dialogue, when you face him in single battles, he mentions Barry, but he actually teams up with Barry as a boss. So that is really interesting. And now So that's just a lot of post-game content to do on its own.
Yeah.
But to answer to answer the other big question, is it baby easy? The answer I have is no. So you know how I said that there is gym leader rematches in the battle tower. Now some of you may dismay, only battle tower. That is not the only way you rematch them. If you return to their gyms after you've entered the Hall of Fame for the first time, you can rebattle the gym leader. I believe you also need to have obtained the National Pokedex as well, which means you have to see the full Sinnoh Dex before getting the National Dex, but it's going to be super easy with the Underground now. And so once you obtain the National Dex and have entered the Hall of Fame, if you go back to the gyms of the 8 gym leaders, you will rematch them at higher levels with their Pokemon ending in the 70s, having full competitive movesets, items, EVs, and IVs in full 6-on-6 battles.
Which I hope this is the norm as far as being able to rebattle gym leaders, because if the only instance of that was like in Platinum, where you had like the battle,
And Cynthia.
Yeah.
Cynthia's Garchomp was the only one that had like good at EVs.
Yeah. But because the only instance where you could rebattle like gym leaders was in Platinum, and then there was the what was the one thing in Gen 5?
So the way you could rebattle gym leaders has been you could rebattle them in Emerald at their gyms. If you got called by them on the Pokénav, you could rebattle them in Platinum through the Battleground. You could rebattle gym leaders in Heart Gold Soul Silver through the Fighting Dojo. You could rebattle gym leaders in Black 2 White through the Pokemon World Tournament, which included past gen gym leaders.
Yeah.
You could rebattle gym leaders in X and Y through what's it called? The Battle, not Maison. I think it's Battle
Chateau?
I think it is the Battle Chateau. You can rebattle gym leaders there. I don't know if you could rebattle. I think you could rebattle gym leaders in Oras.
Actually, I don't think so.
Let me just double check. I don't want to be wrong.
Because it has been a while since we've had like a streamlined system of battling or rebattling them, and to the point where they're usable to train up weaker Pokemon.
I mean, I would say Sword and Shield is probably one of the better examples because of the fact that you can rebattle the gym leaders at higher levels.
Yeah.
But you could rebattle gym leaders in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee via going back to their gyms.
Yeah. I've just been traumatized from how Gen 5 did it, and I did not like it because you couldn't use them to train up your weaker Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like I don't think you could actually rebattle gym leaders in Oras.
Yeah.
But it's great that they brought it back. I mean, it was already brought back.
Because it wasn't in Diamond and Pearl, it was in Platinum.
Yeah,
but
so
it's because in Platinum, you could only battle like 2 of them at most.
You could battle up to 4 people, but I believe 2 of them were gym leaders and 2 of them were the stat trainers.
Right.
But in this, you can battle all 8 once a day.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. On top of the fact that, yes, while they do use their Diamond and Pearl teams during the normal first-time playthrough, so yes, that means Candace with a Medicham and Volkner with an Octillery and an Ambipom. Upon rematching them, they use their Platinum teams with 1 more Pokemon. The Elite Four is very similar. When you first battle the Elite Four, they use their Diamond and Pearl teams. So yes, that means Bertha with a Sudowoodo and Flint with Steelix, Drifloon, and Lopunny. But upon rematching them the first time, they have their Platinum teams with EVs, IVs, competitive items, and they're in their like 60s. And then when you rebattle them a second time, they're in their 70s with a completely different team. And it's not monotype for some of them, as Aaron now uses a Flygon, for example. But they are now monstrously more powerful. Cynthia, especially, whose Garchomp is now the single most powerful Pokemon used by an NPC.
Even so, the previous example of that was Red's Pikachu, right?
Yes. The difference between Red's Pikachu and Cynthia's Garchomp now is that Cynthia's Garchomp is at the same level, being level 88, which is still the highest level trainer Pokemon you can fight. But Cynthia's Garchomp is fully Eevee trained and Ivy bred, holds a Yachi Berry with the moveset of Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, and Sword Stance.
Jeez.
Making it the single most powerful NPC Pokemon we have encountered yet. So, is this gonna be easy? Hell no! Watching people try and do the gym leader rematches, I have seen them get demolished by Aaron, Maylene, and Wake, and not even come close to fighting Cynthia in a rematch. On top of that, we have the return of the Game Freak employees, such as like Morimoto and Nishino, that are going to be battleable, where they have pretty decent teams, as well as for the first time, thank the Lord, you can fight the opposite gendered protagonist, whether it be Dawn or Lucas, and uniquely, they will have a different team dependent on your gender and starter Pokemon. So, one team that's actually really cool is that Dawn, if you pick Torterra and play as Lucas, she will use her anime team.
Really?
She will use a Typhlosion, a Togekiss, a Lopunny, a Mamoswine, an Empoleon, and instead of a Pachirisu, a Blossom.
Huh.
But that is actually her anime team.
Wow.
Which is incredible. And I was already hyped for this game because, like, it's Pokemon, I love Pokemon, but this sent my hype into overdrive. Like, oh my god. This is so great. Like, everyone has been saying Pokemon is getting too easy. No. These are some of the hardest battles in the franchise. And even though you have the experience share on, people have been battling every trainer they can find, and with every gym leader they've encountered, their Pokemon are exactly at the level of the gym leader's ace or lower.
Wow, really?
So the game has been rebalanced around this,
Because I know
around the experience
you've
share.
been following the Datamined a lot more than I have, because I just found out a lot of this stuff today.
Yeah.
But that all seems really exciting, honestly, because Platinum was my first game. All of this is sounding really good. I'm sure a lot of fans are going to stop complaining and be Pokemon fans,
Yeah.
which is a tall order for Pokemon fans, but I think they can power through it for this release.
Yes. Also, for those who are curious, yes, Rotom is catchable, but only in postgame. But the secret room in the Eterna base for Team Galactic is there, and you can change Rotom forms. You obtain the secret key after you defeat or catch Rotom. I believe it's just catch Rotom. No news about if the Gengar boss fight in the old chateau is still there. You can. It's presumed you can still catch Heatran at Stark Mountain and Regigigas in Snowpoint Temple. Giratina is obviously in Turnback Cave. Shaman and Darkrai have their events fully coded, with Oak's Letter and the Member Pass and the Member Card being in the game's dev.
Is there any word on Arceus? I mean, mind you, we're getting Legends Arceus, so there's probably a way to get him there. But is there anything in the game, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that leads to anything reminiscent to what we got in Platinum with Arceus?
So, it's a bit more complicated. There is the Hall of Origin, but it's incomplete. It's incomplete. It's not fully rendered and everything.
So, do you think that it was developed initially, because mind you, Pokemon has a very long development cycle. Do you think that they made it, then they settled on making Legends Arceus, and scrapped the whole idea?
No, some people are theorizing that between the day -8 patch, which comes out tomorrow, and the day 1 patch, which comes out on the 19th, that will potentially see what the full scope of the Hall of Origin is, because Arceus is in the game's code. You can use Arceus if you data mine, and the Azure Flute is there.
Okay.
Arceus is massive. Arceus towers over every trainer and Pokemon in the game. Comparatively, Dialga and Palkia have been shrunk down, but Arceus, when seen in battle, is absolutely massive. And so some people are theorizing potentially that there will be an Arceus tie-in when Pokemon Legends Arceus comes out. Speaking of tie-ins, in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, once you reach Floroma Town, if you have Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee save data on your Switch, a woman will give you a Mew, and if you have Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield save data, her husband will give you Jirachi. Meaning that before the second gym, you can have Mew, Jirachi, and Manaphy on your team. The jury is still out on where Celebi and Deoxys fit on all of this, as right now they are the only mythicals unaccounted for. But Veilstone City seems to still have the Deoxys rocks that change its forms.
Okay.
And another thing is that with Pokemon Legends Arceus, if you have Pokemon Sword or Shield save data, you get a special mission that allows you to catch Landform Shaman. This is for Pokemon Legends Arceus. And if you have Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee save data, you get a Pikachu or Eevee mask. Also, just to set the record straight, the woman in Floroma Town that gives you the Rhasadia flower is in the game, meaning, yes, you can obtain Shaman Skyform. So, that's all I know from the Datamine, but I'm so excited to get this game.
Oh yeah, this game is probably going to be really good, and I can't believe it comes out in like 9 days.
Exactly. And not only that, I mean, we're probably going to get new info that are data mined because of the day -8 patch, which comes out tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Which is really weird, the fact that we're getting a day -8 patch.
I believe it's because of reviewers, because reviewers get copies early.
That is true.
Also, one other thing. So, Mega Stones and Z Crystals. They are in the game. They are coded in the game, but they are leftover data as they were in Sword and Shield, meaning they are completely irrelevant. They are in there, but no Mega Evolutions are probably not returning. Unless something within the day -8 or day 1 patch switches them, I don't think we're getting them.
Yeah. The fact that, well, since they're trying really hard to make this a one-for-one remake, I don't see Mega Evolutions, Z moves, or Dynamaxing coming to this game.
Yeah, and also, I don't think we really need them, considering the bosses for this game are stupid hard upon rematch. And let's be honest here, Cynthia's Garchomp is probably better off being a regular Garchomp than a Mega.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. And also, I mean...
And mind you, throughout Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, most of the competitive scene will still be held in Sword and Shield, so there really is no reason to have it in to like keep competitive interesting. So that's not even a worry when it comes to developing this game.
Yeah. Also, Hidden Power has returned, but it's only for Unknown. But Return has returned, as well as Toxic Thread, Psycho Boost, Dark Void, and Seed Flare, amongst other moves.
All right.
So all of those are there.
All right.
So that is all for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. It's a lot, and I'm excited for the game.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And so for